If you want to become successful after your MBA, be it your placements, be it starting up, or be it anything else, everything begins from your mindset. If you've watched enough of the videos which I've created, you would know that I always emphasize on that whatever you want to achieve in your MBA or in your life in general, it can happen with your mindset change. And in this video, specifically, I want to share with you the 7 mindset changes which you need to do as an MBA aspirant or as an MBA student, which can truly transform the way you think about your MBA and which will truly transform the outcomes which you'll get from your MBA. That is my objective. So do watch this video completely, and if you're excited to know about them, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hi, I'm Darpan Saxena, an MBA graduate from IIM Udaipur, and let's get on with the video. So my objective behind creating this video is very clear, is very straightforward. That if I share with you that your mindset is the most important thing, because often it happens that we start to blame our outcomes onto someone else. That, hey, I was not able to do so and so thing kyunki something else was wrong over here, or because I am at a school wherein I cannot have all those opportunities for myself. But these 7 mindset changes will truly transform that. After this video, you will not blame anyone else. You will not blame your B school for being the way it is. You will not blame your faculty for the way they teach. You will not blame the lack of opportunities around you. You will not blame your friends and family for anything. So here are those 7 transformational mindset shifts which you need to make right now. The mindset shift number 1 which you need to make is that you need to shift your focus from something which is called as positions of responsibility, PORs, to something which is called the body of work. Which means what? That we as MBA students are always chasing PORs. We want a lot of PORs which we can put on our CVs, and that we feel will be a true reflections of who we are, and that will help us really get the kind of outcomes which we want from our MBA. But what I want to truly highlight to you is that something more effective, something more strong, something more powerful than PORs is what I call BOWs, which is the body of work, which simply means that if you have identified the skills or the job role which you want to be in, then all you have to do is that start acquiring those skills. And while you're acquiring all of those skills, you need to apply them onto projects, onto real world projects. And those projects will help you progressively and incrementally create your body of work. Now just imagine this, that if suppose you were to go in a B school interview or in a placement interview, and in that interview, instead of saying that, hi sir, I am the president of the marketing club of my school, instead of saying that, how about you just go and say that, sir, I have a blog, and on my blog I have created around 100 articles, and more than half of my articles are ranking on the page 1 of the search engines thanks to the fact that I know how to do SEO. Which one is more impactful? In the first one, you are simply stating your POR, that you are the president of the marketing club. Now you think that it speaks a lot about you. Now you feel that it explains to your interviewer that, hey, yes, he's interested in this field of marketing. However, what's more impactful is where you can show some outcome, where your work will speak for itself. And if suppose you go and say that, yes, I have already ranked articles on the search engine, which means that I know SEO, obviously I am hands-on, then that will have a different impact altogether. Therefore, the first mindset shift which you need to have is to shift from the PORs to BOWs. And from there, The second thing, you might ask me that how do we find these projects? How do we find these problems where we can apply our skill so that we can create a body of work for our own self? And for that, I would share with you the second mindset shift which you need to create, which is that you need to shift your focus from thinking about live projects to thinking about freelancing. Now, if you are able to make this one change, it will have a lasting impact. I'll explain you how. When you as an MBA student go into a live project, you are going into that project as a student. There, the organization will instruct you that what you need to do, and you just need to simply execute it. The problem is that while you are only an executionary, you might never reach a stage where you are actually applying your mind and creating or planning the entire thing. You are just executing what has been asked. And if you check some of the live projects which are being floated around the MBA schools are really very execution oriented. They are only about something which even a school student can do. But on the other hand, when you go into a freelancing, when you approach organizations and entrepreneurs as a freelancer, suddenly you are not speaking as a student. Now you are positioned as a practitioner. So now you are an MBA or an MBA student who has a few skills, and you can now help those organizations with your skills. Now you are speaking as equals, and now you have an exact say on what needs to be executed as well. Because when they're spending on a freelancer, they are seeking somebody who's an expert who can help them understand not only the strategy but can help them create the strategy and execute it as well. And obviously you will get paid much more in a freelancing assignment than you would be paid as a live project student or as a intern. When you develop this mindset shift towards freelancing, you make a lot of changes in yourself. First thing, that for you to scout a freelancing assignment, you need to be great at sales. Your sales skills will improve. That helps you. Secondly, when you know that you are being spent on heavily, then you know that you need to do a great job for that organization, and hence you will acquire your skills in a great way. And third, obviously you will get paid more, which means that for a new skill which you're trying to acquire, you can create actionable goals, which means that, say suppose if I need to start to learn a new skill, I can simply create a goal that in the next half year from this skill through freelancing I should have earned rupees 50,000. Now that is a actionable and a achievable and a very measurable goal which you can create, and hence I would advise you to look towards freelancing and truly become the practitioners which MBA students can become. From there, the third mindset shift is that when you start doing a lot of freelancing and when you start to create a body of work, what you will realize is that now you will make a shift from focusing on certificates to portfolio, which means that right now as an MBA student, when you learn a skill, your focus is that, hey, whether I will get a certificate for this or not. But when you become a practitioner, a true practitioner, then your focus would shift. Then your focus would be that how from all of these freelancing and all of the skills which I am acquiring, how can I create a portfolio of work? So the third shift which you need to have in your thought process is shift from focusing on certificates to portfolio. And from there only, the fourth and a very important mindset shift is that you would ask me that how do we get these assignments, how do we start to earn from there, how do we truly build our body of work? And that is the fourth mindset shift which needs to be achieved. The fourth mindset shift is that you need to stop focusing on network and start focusing on net worth, which means that a lot of MBA students do not really understand that what is networking. They feel that it is about making friends among the students of their B school, so that in the future all of these friends can help them, so on and so forth. However, that is not the case. You really need to understand that how do you network in a way that it can increase your net worth as a student or as a practitioner, as a professional. If you were to ask me, there are only two ways in which you need to think about networking, and these are those two ways. The first one is that you should seek mentorship. The problem is that whenever we try to speak to the executive of any good organization, we start to see it as a sales pitch, which means that in our head, our objective from that interaction is that, hey, how can I find a job? But I am saying just simplify it. All you need to seek from any executive is how can he or she become your mentor. And when you will go in with that kind of a thought process, you will realize that speaking to these executives is a much more fruitful and a much more easier activity for you to do. Hence, that is one way to do it. The second way to do it is that if you want to have some sort of a sales outcome from that interaction, then it should not be for a job. It should only be for a freelancing assignment or for a project in which you can help his organization. That needs to be your idea. And you need to understand that why am I saying that? For you to seek a placement at his organization, it is a very big deal for him or her. However, if you only ask that, hey, I want to help you on a project or give me a small project to work on or to help you out with, then it isn't a big issue for him. In fact, it would be a good way for him or her to evaluate that how good you can be for his or her organization. So that those are the only two things you should have in your mind when you're approaching any executives. And when you have those two things in your head, then your focus will automatically shift from networking to creating a net worth. And when you keep on focusing more on your worth as a practitioner, then something else will happen, which is about my fifth mindset shift which you need to have. And that fifth one is a very important one. The fifth one is that how you should shift your focus from the best placement, the construct of a best placement, to best outcome. Now, this can be a life changer, a game changer for you if you understand this. That instead of focusing on getting the best placement from your MBA, focus on how can you get the best overall outcome from your MBA. Just try and understand this. For you, as a specific student, the best outcome from an MBA might not be a placement. For you, the most amazing outcome from an MBA could be that if you could have a startup of your own. Or for the kind of human being which you are, the most amazing outcome for you from an MBA, it can be that how about you can have a well-established freelancing practice of your own. Therefore, you need to stop thinking and obsessing over best placement, and best placement. And probably you need to now think about that what is the best outcome for me. And it is exactly where the fourth thing which I had explained you, that as you find more opportunities to freelance and find more opportunities to interact with the executives of the organizations, you will be able to find out that what is it which you truly enjoy, what exactly is the space you want to be in, and what kind of an outcome you want from your MBA. It could be that after your MBA or from those experiences, you might say that, hey, I think I enjoy doing a lot of freelancing and I am able to earn a lot from it as well. This is exactly what my story has been. That when I was in the first year of my MBA, I created my blog, Super Heuristics, and by constantly focusing on that, by creating my body of work on that blog, I could reach a stage where I could leave my post MBA job in just 1 year and focus on it entirely. That is the most amazing outcome which I could have had from my MBA. Hence, do not think about the best placement, think about the best outcome. And yes, placement, it can be one of the outcomes for you. From there, the sixth mindset shift is this one, that when you'll think about the best outcome, it could be freelancing or it could be any other alternate option which you may have, then chances are that you might get attracted to the fame. But here is what you need to do. You need to stop focusing only on the fame. You need to stop focusing on fame and instead start focusing on wealth creation. See, because we are around a lot of influencers on Instagram and on all other platforms, we get attracted to fame. And hence the only thing which we want is fame, and all the things which we do inside our MBA program, we don't even realize it, but we are doing it only for the sake of fame. For example, you might say that, hey, I want to work in that industry, or say I want to have a consulting job at Bain. You need to stop and ask yourself that whether it is truly what you are interested in, or you are saying that only because it is fashionable to be in a consulting job from your MBA, and if you are able to crack the placement of that job, then you will get famous. So most likely a lot of things which you do in your MBA are about fame. You need to stop and you need to think that, okay, am I really focusing only on the fame which I will have from all of these things, or will it truly help me create wealth for my own self? It could be that you have 0 followers on Instagram, but you could be earning a lot. Can you create a side hustle for yourself which can create a lot of wealth for you? And it might not give you a lot of fame. However, I can assure you that if you are able to create a lot of wealth for yourself, then fame will also come. However, with fame, wealth may not come. So that is the thing which you need to truly understand. And for this, I have created a special video in which I explain to you that how from a side hustle you can earn as much as 10 lakh a month. Do watch that, because that might just be the one which will help you transform your thought. And from there, the final shift in your thought process which you need to have is that you need to stop focusing on how much I can earn, and you need to start focusing on how can I be of service to somebody. Because here is the problem, that we as MBA students, we chase the salary. And we say that, okay, I would apply to only those organizations who will spend amazing on me and where the salaries are amazing. And what happens is that suppose you get placed at a organization where the salary isn't so high, then you start having this impression that, hey, my salary is shit, so why should I work hard? And from there you start a downward spiral which will only lead to a lot of issues. Hence, instead, your focus has to be on how can I help, how can I add more value to the organizations I work with. And you will not even realize that when you focus on providing more value, wealth will come by itself. You will start to earn, obviously. So if you can make this shift, I can guarantee you that one, you will never feel very frustrated about your pay, and your pay, how much you earn, will always increase because you are improving yourself, you are improving your skill sets so that you can help somebody in a more improved way. So that was all from my end. These are the 7 shifts which you need to make in your thought process if you need the most amazing outcomes from your MBA. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, then do not forget to subscribe and like the video so that I can share more such content with you. Thanks a lot and goodbye.